Our story starts with Midnight and Lucy standing in the ballroom at the Hero Kingdom Castle. Or in the Hero Kingdom Castle. A big special party was going on, and the girls were bored out of their mind. Why did Mom drag us here? Midnight groaned. To get to know everyone and even meet someone special, Lucy answered. What do you mean someone special? We barely know them, Ruby asked. She shook her head and mumbled something under her breath so no one would hear. Midnight noticed her sisters weren't talking, cleared her throat to break the silence. Ruby, you should get a drink if you're thirsty, Midnight suggested. Alright, you two want something to drink? Ruby asked. Her two sisters shook their head in response. Ruby walked to the table to get some water, not knowing she would meet someone special. Meanwhile, a young, handsome half-blood prince named Chris was fixing up his tie. Do I have to wear this, Dad? Chris asked, struggling to make the tie not too tight on him. My son, princes will be falling for me, and their parents will be throwing cash on me, Frank said, imagining how much money he might get. Chris groaned and walked off, and not looking where he was going, and bumped into someone. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have looked where I was going, Chris said, but when he looked up, only to saw the most beautiful princess in the world. Ruby and Chris stared at each other for 5 minutes till Chris remembered what he was doing. I better get going. See you around, Chris said before rushing off. Ruby stood there as if she had been shot by a Cupid arrow. Ruby, are you okay? Midnight asked, running to Ruby, who immediately snapped out of her thought. Huh, he just bumped into me, so I don't know why you're so worried, Ruby grumbled. He's the son of Frank, Alpha of the Wolf Valley. Midnight told Ruby with a serious look on her face. You mean the one who started a fight with Mom? Does that mean we're enemies? Ruby asked quietly to herself. Ruby didn't know how to react to that. And besides, Chris was super nice and even apologized when they bumped into each other. Ruby seemed like she is spacing out. Ruby seemed like she is spacing out. Lucy and Midnight look at each other before Midnight get an idea. She took out a trombone and played a note in Ruby's ear. Ruby let a yelp and covered her ears before glaring at Midnight, who was on the floor dying from laughter. Ha ha, very funny, Ruby grumbled, rubbing her ears. What got you spacing out? Was it that Chris boy you bumped into? Midnight asked, who covered her mouth the moment she said the name. Wait, Frank's son is here? Lucy exclaimed it. He isn't bad like his father, actually quite nice and handsome too, Ruby said, slowly fading back to her dream world. Chris was also drifting away to its dream, not knowing that Sky was snapping her fingers at him. I spelled fingers wrong. Gosh. Sorry, I'll fix that, guys. Sorry. Stupid. Dude, you haven't been spacing out for 52 minutes already, Sky said with worry in her voice. I need to get some air. I'll be right back, Chris said, rushing off, leaving Sky confused and suspicious. P.S. Sky is Shadow, by the way, of her brother's behavior. Ruby was practicing her sword fighting since her mother always told her that sword fighting is for boys, and she found that ridiculous. She stabbed some dummies that she took from the train without getting spotted. Chris saw Ruby training and grabbed her arm. This caught Ruby by surprise before she drew the flip whoever grabbed her and then drew Chris into the wall. Hands off me! Ruby growled. She saw who it was and covered her mouth in shock. Oh, I am so sorry for doing that. I thought you were Victor, Ruby said, helping Chris up, who groaned in pain. Victor, who's that? Chris questioned, rubbing his head. He's a snotty prince that my mom is forcing me to be his girlfriend. He isn't even respectful an older kid for his looks, Ruby said with venom in her tone. Wow, he's be renamed Prince Snotbutt then, Chris commented. Ruby immediately burst into laughter, tears flowing down her face. Yeah, he should. Ruby and Chris looked at each other for a moment before looking away. I guess someone told you my name since you knew it, Chris wondered. Well, Midnight said that your father is the Alpha of the Wolf Valley, which means that we are enemies, Ruby commented quietly. Wait, what? You're Queen Lily's daughter? Chris added in shock. Ruby nodded silently and turned away from Chris, waiting for him to hate her. I don't hate you or your mother. I'm pretty sure you got her beauty from her. Chris said with a smile, smooth on his face. A blush formed on Ruby's face, causing her to turn away, who blushed when he realized what he said. Aww. Ruby! Midnight screamed. Ruby peeked out and pushed Chris into the bush. He let a yelp before landing on the ground. I had to go. Be sure to escape without getting caught. Ruby whispered to Chris, booping him on the nose. The speechless prince watched Ruby head back. He felt a smile forming. Chris stood up and ran back to Wolfville before things went downhill. Little did he know that Sky saw the whole thing and then disappeared into the shadows. Ruby sneaked back into her room till a voice scared her. Where were you? Lucy asked, raising her eyebrows. I was getting fresh air, Ruby replied as quick as possible. Luckily, Lucy took this and patted Ruby on the head. Mother wants to speak to you about something, Lucy said. Lucy told Ruby, who nodded and walked out the door to see what her mother had for her. When Ruby entered the throne room, where Queen Lily was sitting on her throne waiting for her daughter. Mother, you wanted to see me? Ruby asked. The Queen stood up and put a hand on Ruby's shoulder with a huge smile on her face. I got some amazing news. You're gonna marry Victor. Queen Lily announced it. ... You're not gonna leave your reeds on the cliffhanger, right? I don't know. Maybe.